So this is how we begin the Aries emotional week, with me willing to throw all this technology through the window, and in a very Aries way. So let's do an introduction to this week now that it began in such a way. So I have no idea what we are going to talk about in this week. I have no clue of the topics for these next 10 days. Next 9 days. So I guess that what we are going to go through, according to what my higher self told me today when I was writing the post, that what I could get about is that we are gonna go through the emotional aspects of the Aries energy, which is related to the fight, the to be the anger, to be like mad, these kind of things. So remember that Aries represents the one that initiates things, that begins, that push forward the things, but emotionally we used to storage all this kind of low energy. So just as an idea to share with all of you regarding all this week that is coming, usually in the spiritual world, we used to take these concepts of being hungry and being mad like things that are not good, and of course that usually spiritual people tries to avoid and not to express or say that this is a wrong thing. This is not spiritual to be mad or to be upset or stuff like this. So this is something that we have to face, because basically those kinds of emotions are energy, and this is all energy. So if we don't know how to handle that energy, if we don't know how to move that energy, it will get worse. So what we don't want for us to live is that low energy destroying ourselves. So that's why we are not gonna talk about how to get rid of being anger or to be angry or to be mad. We're not gonna try to avoid those things. We are going to try to face those things and to try to use that energy and learn how to move that energy, and recognizing that it's not wrong to feel mad or to feel angry about something. So yesterday, everything that happened, of course, was according to what it was supposed to. Of course, yesterday the computer stopped and didn't want to work with the camera, and it was great because it was more about to pay attention, not to watch me. So it was perfect. And there were some messages that I want to talk about as a summary. So first of all, I want to clarify that I wrote to this in the post about this in the post that since I was a kid, I always loved to be a teacher, to teach in a school or things like this, and my nature is spirituality. So I am naturally spiritual, working in different dimensions and being a channel for beings and all this. That for me was the nature. That's my nature, but my will is to be a teacher. So that's why sometimes it's so difficult for me, like when these things happen, like when I'm channeling in front of people, because I feel like it's weird, and my ego sometimes is a bit hurt, because it doesn't want to show that part so much, because it thinks that I am losing credibility in what I really want to work with, which is education and social work. But I cannot do that until I finish this part. So well, that's one of the things that I have to deal with. So that's why sometimes I'm worried, because sometimes I feel sometimes I feel like when I usually have said that I was born spiritual. I was not looking for spirituality. It was just something natural in me. So so sometimes it's like my own things that I'm showing, that I sometimes feel like it's not the best for me for what I want to do. But even though, well, this is me and this is how I am supposed to be sharing. So regarding this thing of channeling, I think that all of us who has been following this path through all this month, we can now understand that there is no other beings coming inside the body exactly. If we understand that we are all the same essence divided in many different egos, like one particle with many different options, so we can understand that when we are channeling, we are not really bringing other beings within. We are actually ourselves, opening ourselves to receive different options of my own. Like I had this, I don't know if it is an ability or my nature, to let my ego go aside for a moment, to just be myself. And that helps me to channel my other options, my many other options. So that helps me to have many perspectives and not only my own. So I guess that that's how we can understand better now what is really a channeling. Just for you to know, all the information that I've been explaining, that I've been given every day, is not that I know this. I don't really know many of these things. It's just that I allow myself to open to other parts of myself that knows these things. So I open myself to explain them with my personality, but open to other options, not only mine. So it's actually not me all the time explaining these things. Even when I am channeling, when I am writing the post, most of the times I am not thinking. I am just allowing other parts of myself to explain the things. I wanted to explain also this dark side that usually comes, and he always explains that he comes like the filter, like trying to clean the path and to say to those who are doubting if this is a path with darkness or with guided by Illuminati or reptilians or whatever like this. So they come and they said, yes, we are here too. So if you don't want to be here, go away, do your path, but don't bother. it's like cleaning the energy. So kind of like these beings, instead of willing for me to have followers, they said have less. So, but it's better. So kind of like this. So one of the things that they were doing yesterday was with sounds, trying to calibrate the network that we have created yesterday. That was wrapped yesterday, because from the very beginning, when we started with the I am until this question of am I, it's like a whole pattern that wrapped up of information that we all have waived. So what they were doing was trying to calibrate that, because during the calibration they felt that there were interference. So that's why the darkness came to kind of shoo the interference. One of the beings that appeared were people from different cultures that were also calibrating, and the ones from the Confederation, that they kind of as always, they are like kind of evaluating if our vibration is not doing like a pendulum between positive and negative against each other, because what they are trying to send to the planet has to be in balance with us. And so if we are not in the correct vibration, that energy will be missed, something like this. So another thing that they said was that the point that we have to activate in order to receive that new information is the crown. The crown chakra of each person, and also the crown chakra of the planet, which is the North and the South Pole. And in order to activate that, the whole planet has to think about the same topic, about the crown. And in Latin, crown is corona. So when they said the subconscious, the unconscious, and the conscious are thinking right now about the crown, about the corona. So everyone has their mind in that topic. And it doesn't matter if it is from fear or from whatever. The important thing that the ones that are working for the consciousness are not with fear. That's the goal. So we can use the energy of fear in order to use the activation. So the archangels, the energy of the archangels were present also, because they were reminding what are the energies of the portal, the 12 portals of the earth. So the time in which the plasma starts to get inside of this information, starts to get inside the planet, is between June 10th, 2021 and December 4th, 2021, with one middle point, which is 22nd of August this year. June 10th is the eclipse in the North Pole, and December 4th is the eclipse in the South Pole. And August 22nd is the day of the blue moon, where we are supposed to do this connection between the two poles all together during the whole day. So as closer we get to the date, I will share with you how it's going to be that activation. So just to remind you, for the new people, I already spoke about all this information. I guess that it was November 17th. I don't know exactly. So maybe you can ask the people and the people who remembers this, because I explain about this, I guess. So this is kind of the whole picture, okay? Then, of course, that the details, they don't really are the important things to speak about, the specific details, okay? As I don't remember them all. So, so yeah. So first, I know that this is really weird and really strange, that suddenly I'm speaking about, or usually I speak about philosophical topics and all these educational things, and suddenly we start to speak about a task, a mission that we have to do with alien beings. I know it's weird, sorry. But I will try to explain or to say something about this. So the thing that I wanted to clarify is that this task that we are doing is not for aliens and is not for us as humanity. It's for the entire being that we are through the universe. We are all one. So what I want to say with this is that this is not an obligated task for this path. This is for those who resound with this and that feels that they have to do this. If you have doubts or you are afraid of these things, don't do it. Just keep with the philosophical data that we are sharing, that we are talking here. It's not a must that you have to do this. You first have to take care of your own being and your own energy. Don't put yourself into any task like these ones that we are speaking about if you are not 100% sure that you resound with it. So take care of your own energy, of your own self, and don't feel pushed to do anything that you don't feel. I will take notes of this because it's much more clarifying for me if I take notes. Let's speak about the topic for today, and just want to say one thing about the topic for today and not speak much. Answer. The topic is answer. So we have been speaking all this week about all the questions, and now in just a few minutes, I will try to talk about all the answers. And of course, as always, for that, let's go to the etymology. Let's go to the etymology of answer. Answer comes from two words. The first one is ante, which in Latin means in front, ante, and the word swear. So ante is in front, and swear means to promise. So in front of a promise, that's the meaning of an answer. So answer, meaning to put in front of a promise, is basically the reaction of an action. The question is like this action that starts something, and then we have the response of something. Response is like in Spanish, respuesta is the same thing. So response to an action. So when we act, is like the cause. What is the cause of something? So we have the effect, and the effect is something that gives us the next step, the next movement. So an answer is something that keeps us doing action, responding with new actions. So an answer is basically a response to a question, but now from a different point of view, from a different perspective. So I will give a very silly example about this. For example, when you ask, is it raining? Someone looks through the window and says, yes, it's raining. So you have the question, and then you have the answer. And that answer moves you to take the umbrella and to dress properly to go out. So it's a silly example, but it shows how the answer is not the end of a process. The answer is the beginning of a new one from another level of consciousness. So the reason why I take the answer takes me into another level of consciousness is because, like in this example, when before you ask, you had no idea about the answer. When you knew the answer, now you have the wisdom, the knowledge of what is really happening. So that gives you a new tool in order to act according to the answer. So whoever is looking for an answer through the questions and think that the answer is the end of the pursuit of these questions, of this truth, so that person really didn't understand the constant and cyclical nature of the universe. An answer is a promise that we will do again a question. So the question is the one that helps us think about the universe in which we live in, and the answer helps us to be aware about that universe. When we know the answer, that truth starts to become a part of myself. This is why when we start to do existential questions, the answer is always me. It's always I am the answer. So once we explained that the question is the doubt, the question is the tool that the universe has to evolve, to help us understand more, to move forward. And the answer of that question is the one that describes how it is now, how the things are right now. So it means that it's just describing one aspect, but not how it's gonna be the entire time. The answer is just saying how it is now. So you are free to start to change and to make a new question, to evolve through that answer. So let's not do or make questions in order to find the right answer. Let's do questions in order to understand that the answer is the description of how it is now, so we can keep moving and transforming. So the answer is not the end, the answer is a new beginning. Today we change the vibration. The vibration for today is Ra. It's not Ra, it's neither Ra, it's Ra. The statement for today is I am spiritual wisdom.